So what is brioche? Brioche is an enriched dough, very, very rich. There's so many recipes of brioche, but usually it's enriched with butter, eggs and milk. Or you can have creme fraiche, you can have all sorts of things. But there's many variants and many recipes. So I got 12 eggs in here, strong bread flour, some sugar, my yeast, my salt and my butter. So I'm gonna crack my eggs, ready? So how to make it? We've got a bowl, I'm gonna drop my eggs in the bowl, I put the liquid first. It's easier to mix everything. Flour, sugar, so I'm gonna take my yeast in here, bit of flour with it, just break it down a little bit. And pour this into my bowl. So sugar, my salt, and then we go on slow speed. So again, 4 minutes on slow speed until everything is really, really, really well mixed together. So while this mixing there, I'm going to talk to you about the butter. And the trick to get butter soft but still cold is to use a rolling pin and bash your butter. If you do that, your butter will be very cold but very, very soft. So don't grate it, don't do anything like that. It's a good trick, just bash the butter. So it's quite mild in here today. Bash it. So this is a great tip to get soft butter very fast. Bash it. So it's been 4 minutes now. And the dough's got that kind of very thick porridge, sticky, it's not smooth at all. It's working hard. You can feel the dough working really hard. So I'll move the speed number 2 now and start adding butter bit by bit in my dough. Be patient, don't try to put too much in one go. So the butter absorbs into the dough. It's a bit like mayonnaise. If you put too much in one go, it's very hard for the dough to get it. And you end up with a very heavy brioche. So I'll move on to speed number 2 now, number 3. And start adding butter. So the dough now is nearly ready. So a couple of minutes away. It's getting shiny. I can hear the flip-flop of the dough, the slapping of the dough. Coming clean on the bottom. Okay, so the dough is done now. We'll drop the dough on the table and finish it off. So I put the dough on the table. I won't put any flour. I love the feel of that dough. Get your scraper and give it a few scrapes and shape that top in here. And then already it's less sticky. So my dough is done. Just a fine dusting of flour now. That's it. And then we'll put this to rest now. So the brioche dough has been rested for 2 hours. I left it rest in a cool place, not warm, just cool. So let's have a look. And again, we'll tip the dough over, so smooth side down. So again, I want to get the dough ready to be divided. So what I'm doing there, my top is underneath the non-stick side, my sticky side is up here. Try my hand a little bit and press it down gently. So you can see that's more sticky there. Fold the dough over, like so, and press into the spine. Bring this over, right over the top. Now my spine is in here, turn over, and my top is back on top. I can't go and do some big pieces like that. I'm going to cut the dough in half first. And as I do this, you can see the sticky side in here. So I'm going to seal the dough with my hand. So the 2 hands working together. There, seal the dough. Cut, seal, cut, seal. So I'm going to do a lot of large size. So if I show you the mold I'm going to use, for example, a big mold like that, big brioche mold. I'm going to grease them with butter. But this will take about 650 grams of dough. This one about 500 grams. Bring the dough together. Keep it nice and tidy there. So 410 in here. So this one will be for my tin. 500, perfect. Just get the dough nicely together. Just that. Don't squash it too hard. Be gentle with it. The large one is about 600 grams, so it's about here. Squish it together. A bit more. So extra bit, I put them underneath. So I keep my top nice and clean. All together. Little square mold, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do some little 80 gram for that. So slightly bigger, done. So this area, that's what I hate. When you divide, you end up with a jigsaw there. It's really hard to shape after that. So try before you start shaping, gather back together and get the biggest piece and just do it like this. Reshape, reform a top somewhere. So when you handle it, you've got this coming back now. It's much easier to work with. So I'm going to show you how to shape the dough now. So this is what we call the classic brioche à tête. So little ball of dough inside and a little ball on top. I'm going to show you how to do this as well. The way I grease them, don't skimp on the butter on this one. It's indulgent pastry, it's brioche. Butter and really grease your mold. It goes through the groove. So that's done. So let me show you how to shape the dough now. So my top is in here. And press it down. And what we're going to do is shape it and divide it into 6. And I'm going to put 6 little balls in there. So by doing this in here, I make the dough tighter. Cut in half. There. So what you have to do is just do a bit of this, your hand there, and then just spin the dough around a tiny bit. And then your skin will go all the way around. When it's done, in your tin. First one's done. So this one, I'm going to show you to do a big brioche à tête. My top is in here. I'm going to shape it just out a little bit and seal all your seam there. But we're going to make it a bit more special, this one. So I'm going to dip my finger in a bit of flour and then make a big hole in the middle there. And then take under the 60 gram there. And again, my top is in here. I will just put it on its side and pull it down and form a little tail. My finger goes in, open it up, put this inside. So we take all that care to shape that dough, make the dough, shape it, put it into tins. We're going to prove it now. Don't leave it somewhere too hot. It's butter in there. If it's too hot, it will melt. So take your time, slightly cooler, but leave the dough do its job. So I'm going to cover them. So we'll see in an hour what's happened. So brioche are ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put some egg glaze on them. I'm going to cut the little one in here, but those are ready to go in the oven as they are. I got whole eggs in here, burned with a pinch of salt. So you got a nice dark orangey color. And glaze the brioche. Nice layer. Here we go. So now I'm going to use a pair of scissors just to do a bit of cut on the big one in here and the small one in here. So we're going to bake them at 180. You don't want too much heat on them. Brioche are in the oven. The brioche is very rich. The tiny one will take 8 to 10 minutes, and keep an eye on them. The larger one, 20, 25 minutes. So the little brioche are ready. I'll bring them to you now. But look at that beautiful color. And the butter, look at this. Stunning, stunning, stunning.
Now, what exactly is a pao? Pao is a bun which originated in Bombay. When I moved to London, I tried a lot of bread rolls. I tried a lot of dinner rolls and buns, but I could never get that flavor of the Bombay Pao. So the base for a pao is basically flour. I've got self-raising flour here. You can use plain flour if you like, it's perfectly fine. What you also need is yeast. Now once you add a little sugar in this, which I'm going to add in now, it actually helps to activate the yeast. So I've got dried yeast here. In this, I add warm water, 3 to 4 tablespoons of warm water, and you let that rest for a good 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to get my other stuff for the dough organized. I've got my self-raising flour. I'll add salt. Again, be quite generous with the salt because there is no flavor without salt, and a flour can take a lot of salt. So when you bite into a piece of bread, you need to get that flavor of the saltiness. So while the yeast was resting to rise, I've also put my oven on. Always preheat your oven when you're going to put or bake or roast. So this time it's at 180 degrees centigrade, which is approximately 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In that I've got a little salt. I'm going to mix that together. I now add my fermented yeast. So you can see that it's risen up. All that goes in. So into this I add a tablespoon of oil and then water. Now the water is slightly warm, it's not really cold. Always keep it slightly warm. It will also react with the yeast and help the dough to prove better. And then mix it together. At this stage, you now get your hands in. All you need to do is let the fingers and the palm do the work. So bring it back together. Okay, so if you look at this dough is almost ready. I'm going to put it onto my work table. Don't need to stretch the dough too much at this stage. Just bring it back and shape it like a ball. I put my bowl back. A little bit of oil just to grease the bottom of the bowl. In that goes, and on top of that, cover the dough with the wet cloth and you leave it for a good 30 minutes for the dough to rest and for it to rise. The pao dough has rested for a while. I'm now going to remove my wet cloth, keep it aside. It's nice and light, and that's just exactly how I want it. Drop it onto the work table. You gently massage it, make it like a log. Okay. To bake my paos, I've taken a non-stick baking tray. Now, how do you make a non-stick tray or a normal baking tray non-stick? Is by adding oil. Generously rubbing oil all over the base. And the next step, what you do is dust it with flour. Just sprinkle, dust flour. Okay, that is done. I'm going to divide this into 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 12 dough balls ready. Take a portion of dough ball in between your palm. Now you make your thumb and your index finger like a ball shape. Club it together and it'll turn into a ball. And lastly, the last one. And there it goes. This is now going to rest for again 30 minutes for them to really rise. But first, I'm going to cover that with a wet cloth. The pao dough has now rested into the baking tray and it's time to actually lift off the wet cloth to see how it has come out. So let's have a quick peek. Now before I put that into the oven, I'm going to give it a milk wash. That basically is just milk, lightly glazed over the bread. Into the oven. Do not forget, always preheated oven, 180 degrees centigrade or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 20 to 22 minutes. Oh wow, look at that. My pao is ready, it's nice and hot. The bread has swollen up, it's risen, they all stuck together. This is now all set. It just brings back memories. I love to enjoy this with keema, and here I had made one earlier for the class, was my keema pao. This is extremely hot, so handle with care. I'm going to just take out one last rack or rather row of the pao. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? It's nice and fluffy, cooked very evenly on all sides. My keema pao.